Welcome to the channel. Today I want to tell you about the movie, Escape Room. Subscribe to the channel to see more interesting recaps. Watch out for spoilers. We are shown a room. Suddenly a man falls in. He tries to open the door, but sees the walls start to move. He finds a clue. In a green book he finds another clue, but doesn't understand what it means. The room gets smaller and smaller, but the guy manages to figure out the code to open the door. The guy enters the code, but nothing works and the room finally shrinks, killing the guy. A student named Zoe is sitting in a lecture. The teacher asks Zoe to stay. Zoe is a silent girl and she should step out of her comfort zone. We are then shown Jason, a stock trader. The next character's name is Ben. He needs a job to move out of his mother's house. His boss won't put him on the cash register because he doesn't know how to get along with people. Jason gets a present, a mysterious cube. The box won't open and Jason doesn't care. Zoe is obsessed with science, though she is actually afraid of the social life, so she will spend Thanksgiving alone. Zoe has another vision and suddenly wakes up. A friend is about to leave, but finds a package for Zoe. It turns out to be the same mysterious cube. Ben also finds a mysterious cube at his workplace. Gradually, Zoe, Jason and Ben open the cube where they find a note. The note says about passing the quest, where the winner will receive $10,000. A girl named Amanda approaches the smoking Ben. She has also come to register for the quest. A guy named Donnie, who also came to register for the quest, runs into the elevator. They arrive at the room where Jason, Zoe, and also the truck driver Mike are located. The people get to know each other and also the last to arrive is Ben. The group discusses why they decided to come here. Many decided just because of the $10,000. Danny knows a lot about the quests. They will be very difficult and need to be completed in a certain amount of time. Ben decides to go outside for a smoke, but suddenly the pen comes off. Danny says that maybe the quest has already started. They need to find a code or some numbers that will open the door. The group starts searching the room and Mike finds a screwdriver in a book. Zoe sees the title of the book and enters the numbers thinking it's a code, but the room starts to heat up and the light switch doesn't work. They try to ask for a clue, but behind the glass they are only told to sit and wait. A sound goes off and the room starts to heat up even more. Zoe finds a key and they open the door where the doll is sitting. They answer the door and are greeted and advised to follow the rules. The room begins to heat up on all sides and the windows close. Everyone starts to panic and looks for a way to get out of the room. The group finds buttons that open the hatch to the vent. Jason goes first while the others hold the buttons. Jason finds a way out, but needs a screwdriver to remove the grate. Amanda replaces Mike, and Mike brings the screwdriver. The door is successfully opened and Amanda heads for the exit. The buttons need to be pushed, so Zoe fumbles for a glass of water to push the button. Amanda has a panic attack as she has been in the military in the past. Zoe goes to see if Amanda is okay. The guys fill their glasses, but there isn't enough water and the room heats up even more. Ben fills the last glass with his drink and they get out. Now they find themselves in an old cabin. Amanda wants to stop the game, but there isn't even a connection on the phone. Jason finds the key and opens the lock, but there is a second lock where they have to pick a word. Jason starts picking names. Ben sees the letters and remembers a time in his life when he was in a car accident with his friends. Ben recites the names of the dead friends and one name opens the lock. They step out into a snowy location. It's extremely cold. Danny walks on the ice but bumps into a wall. Suddenly, cold steam starts blowing into the room. Jason finds the door. The group finds only one jacket. They discover an ice hole, and Mike finds a fishing rod. Zoe finds a compass in the jacket and discovers a bear. Inside she finds a magnet. They use the magnet with the fishing rod and pick up a cube from the bottom with a key inside. They ask Ben for a lighter. He throws it on the ice. Danny picks it up and suddenly falls through. The group tries to find him. Danny is already dead. The group blames Ben for everything. They think he's the game Lord Danny is talking about. Jason says there's nothing to be done and they need to get the key. They use their hands to melt the ice. It gets really cold and Mike passes out, but Jason gets the key. They manage to open the door and get out. This time they get to the bar, but the room is upside down. The room begins to move. They answer the phone, but all they hear is a loud beeping noise and then music. Suddenly, the floor in front of Mike falls through and there is a huge chasm below them. Amanda tries to find any clue. Zoe walks over the chasm and Mike helps her climb up to the records. Zoe is doing a puzzle, but suddenly the floor on top of Jason falls through. Zoe collects the records by colors that match the balls on the pool table. Amanda enters the code, but it doesn't fit and the room continues to collapse. The shelf can't hold the three of them. Zoe tries to grab the handrail but is thwarted. She sees the plane crash where her mom died. That's why she's so weird. Amanda enters the code backwards because the safe is upside down and it opens. Amanda struggles to climb up, but the orb falls on the last section of the floor. Amanda grabs it, but the floor falls. She manages to grab the telephone wire, but it rips and Amanda falls. They open the door and find themselves in the next challenge. This time it turns out to be a hospital. Zoe needs to calm down, but Jason thinks they're alive and they need to get out. They each find the hospital rooms they were once in. They also find their belongings and diagnosis notes. Zoe finds Amanda's diagnosis. She is the only survivor of the bomb blast. Zoe talks about the plane crash where she was the only survivor. Jason says that he and a friend decided to go boating. The boat capsized, his friend got cold and swam away. Eventually Jason was found alone. Ben tells that he bought a car and decided to go for a drive with his friends, which led to an accident where only he survived. Mike was working in a mine with his brother. There was a cave-in. Mike heard his brother dying. Only Mike survived. The creators of the quest knew everything about them. Every room was made for everyone. They are the only survivors, so Zoe assumes the creators are interested to see who is luckier to survive. The time comes up on the TV. They have 5 minutes. They find a clue. The fingerprints are gesture signs. Zoe starts breaking down the cameras so they don't follow them. They find an EKG machine, but they need a cleaner pulse for it to work. Jason decides to use the defibrillator on Mike to get a clean pulse. Nothing comes out and Mike loses his pulse. Time runs out and the room starts to fill with gas. Jason uses the machine on himself and gets a steady pulse, which opens the door. Zoe refuses to go and Ben leaves alone. She breaks the last chamber and passes out. Jason and Ben find themselves in a strange room. Ben decides that Jason actually killed his friend. They find a trapdoor and open it. They hallucinate. Everything goes blurry. They're completely disoriented and need to find an antidote. Ben manages to find 1 dose of the antidote. Jason attacks him. They get into a fight over the 1 syringe. Ben pushes Jason and he dies and then injects the antidote. Ben goes down the hatch and ends up in the room we were shown at the beginning of the movie. People in suits enter the room where Zoe is lying. Suddenly, Zoe attacks the men, grabs a gun and walks towards the exit. Ben manages to escape at the last moment and finds himself in the service room where they are being followed. A man speaks to him. Ben has won and can relax. The man then enters the room. He is not the creator of the rooms. He just manages them. Their clients are the most powerful people in the world and they enjoy watching these games. The man is surprised that Ben is the winner. Ben thinks he's free now, but the man starts choking him. Ben hurts him, and then Zoe shows up and hurts him. The man grabs Zoe, but Ben manages to kill him. Zoe and Ben get out. The police prepare to search the area where the rooms were. There are no rooms inside, only abandoned rooms. The police don't believe Zoe's story. Half a year passes. Zoe lives a normal life. Ben is also doing well. Zoe continues to look for clues. Ben doesn't want to bring it up, but Zoe thinks they need to find them. Zoe finds the coordinates of the game's creators. Ben agrees to help her. We're shown a plane going down. The stewards try to open the door, they succeed, but the plane falls. It turns out to be a simulation. The creators of the game are preparing a new game. This is where the movie, Escape Room, ends. I recommend you watch the next movie recaps.